Guys, get in. Um, we're gonna do a reading, and we're gonna see what all is going on. Uh, okay, Bluetooth was on. Audio should be fixed. I was remembering I was in some meditation, so the Bluetooth might have been on. Um, okay, I just heard that someone might not like your position because I was getting like people are really not happy. And it's not really because of anything you're doing or anything about anything really. It's just their ego is kind of feeling all weirded out because you're in this high held position. I even stuttered there. Like someone doesn't really want to admit that you're held in like a higher position than them. Whether this is like it doesn't even like I'm not even picking up this as someone that's attacking you spiritually. This might just be someone in a spiritual community that knows that you are in like a higher position, uh, or just more in tune with what's going on than they are. Or it's just there's a lot of awkwardness around you and your presence because people don't know how to take you. And welcome in, everyone. Um, some people feel like it's weird, like I don't know, maybe you just had like a weird like your past wasn't you didn't seem as smart or maybe as spiritual as you were in the past and now you're in this position and people don't know how to take that or everyone thought that you were a joke and they all counted you out and it's like a big energy of God and the divine getting their final laugh because all these people are like it's like an awakening to see who the real spiritual people are and who are the fake ones. And I don't know why, but I'm hearing an echo. This is the first time I've ever heard an echo while doing a reading. This is like I don't know. It's something about your presence being very booming. Like people don't like you for being real. And like I don't know if you have like a spiritual community around you, they know about you and they don't really like you because you're like more spiritual than them or you have it's so weird because like they don't like you but they like you because they want to just use you as like a staple to be like oh our spiritual community has this spiritual person who's really tapped in and connected so that means you should follow us because we have it's like we have the key type energy which is weird which is also probably why you've been really repulsed by certain communities because you can kind of see what's going on but it's like you are the standalone person who is in charge of what's going on. And what I mean by what's in charge of what's going on, like the whole spiritual awakening, you're the leader of the spiritual awakening. And it's not saying that there other people aren't leading it, but it's something about how you're actually waking people up. The path that you're taking. It's like, because I was even thinking about this and talking to spirit guides about it. Not a lot of people are doing actual shadow work anymore. People will say they're doing shadow work and that they're healing, meanwhile still doing those unhealed things, and it's like you're not healing or growing. You're saying you are, but you're staying in these stagnant positions. You're still succumbing to all these other things, which is fine. Do what you want to do, but for the ones that really want to grow, heal, and evolve, they see these people walking in cycles and circles, and they're like, "Who the fuck are you then?" If like how are like, but there's an awareness coming on with that because people see how you stop working in these weird cycles that everyone gets caught up in. You're doing the shadow work, and shadow work is scary. Some people think shadow work is like just, oh, well, when I was a child, I understand why I was told no. And no, shadow work is getting to know your shadow, knowing how to work with your shadow side, knowing what fear is, where fear is coming from, where that fear is rooted from, all those things, and actually understanding that and being able to work with that energy to transmute it. Like shadow work is not just I don't know. people like baby steps. I'm not trying to diss anyone. I know we're just here giving what spirit wants to say, but like people are seeing that whatever you're doing is working and whatever they're doing doesn't seem to work. And it's I talk about it sometimes on my Facebook, but there's like a facade. Um there's a facade of and when I say I'm talking about it on my Facebook, I'm talking about like my personal Facebook. I don't have like a Facebook profile or anything. Facebook like a page for this for the tarot or anything. It's like my personal. So don't like look for that. But it's like there's a pseudo spiritual like understanding, and then there's the spirit, the actual like people who are awakening. And you'll see that like all across like joining spiritual groups, you'll see the people who still are very pissed off and angry and grr, I hate the world. Meanwhile trying to be spiritual, and like yeah, you had to be in that state to like go up, but they're stagnant in that energy and they don't really move much. Which again, like move at your own pace, but some of these people have been like that for years, and it's one of those things where it's like the ego of spirituality is very present. Like the ones that still want to, oh well, religion this, religion that, without realizing that they coexist, and just like a bunch of bullshit like that. Like, and then just people who are spiritual not liking the word God because of the trauma that the word God brings, and needing to heal from that, and not wanting to heal from that because that's their choice and they can do what they want. But there's just like a whole bunch of things that these people who claim to be spiritual, they don't understand, they don't talk about. It's just like they focus on the love and light aspect, and oh, don't worry about it, you're not the problem, you're fine, which is kind of toxic. If you're going to be spiritual, you can't be saying it's not your problem. Like we all, your action require, it's like it's the shadow work that no one wants to do, because no one wants to feel like they're doing the wrong when they don't do anything. But it's the shadow work aspect of everything, and some people don't understand that, which is fine. But when you get into these deeper levels of healing and the deeper levels of spirituality and understanding the shadow work, the shadow side of yourself, your shadow side can also be your safety zone, because it's what you're comfortable doing. The action of an action is still an action. And maybe your shadow side involves with you not taking action a lot because you're unsure like what to do, which isn't a bad thing, but you need to understand and know that, like, you know what I mean? I'm not. It's a lot to get into. Some people don't like listening to it. Some people just ignore it. Some people get pissed off about it. But it's the truth. It's the truth that people ignore. And it's like you show people their shadow without even realizing. I mean, it's like they know it's their shadow and they try to ignore it because they feel and look better than someone else. But it's like they're looking for that validation that you get from the divine from other people, which is counterintuitive when it comes to the whole spiritual side. And I'm not, I'm not going to listen to the projections that's coming through because I'm getting some weird energy coming through, but it's a lot of confusion and doubt because you and your awakening does not equate to these other people's awakening. And it's really like, it's so weird because there's like a film, like a plastic see-through film where they're like trying to ignore that you're the one and you're outside of this like plastic box. But I don't know. That's the energy that I'm picking up on, is people don't really know how to take you because you are this spiritual being. Like you are the one. You're multifaceted in your gifts. For some of you, it's like some people who have PhDs in like spirituality, it's your crown chakra, dude. Like you are connected to the divine. It's your crown chakra. People don't like your crown chakra, I'm gonna be honest. But something that takes and again, like there's nothing wrong with this, but it's just these people are looking at it this way, which is why it's so weird. But like the people that look at you, they see the things that took them like years to understand. You just get like that. Like you understand the balance, you understand all these things. You're very easy to pick up on, like you learn quickly. Like the divine blesses you in ways that are quote unquote seem better because they're focusing too much on like how the divine is working with you rather than how the divine is working for them. And I don't know, it's just like a really weird like projection zone that the divine's been keeping you safe from these people. And these could be like it's like everyone. It's not just people who haven't who's been attacking you. It's not just like a spiritual community. It's everyone. Yeah, people are just like unamused by you, which is why you might seem like you're ignored a lot when you're giving advice to people. Like, oh, some people who are spiritual ask you for advice, or people in general ask you for advice because they know that you're spiritual, and then they just kind of ignore it, and it's like, oh, you're just saying that. It's because they know how right you are, but they're not ready to admit to themselves just how correct you are. Deep down they know it's right, but it pisses them off that you're the one to tell them rather than someone that they already like. It's like you're the best friend that tells people what it is, and you're not even their friend. You know what I mean? Or you don't even talk to this person like a friend. And it's weird because again, your sacral, your solar plexus chakra, it's about you actually being in balance. People have a lot of blocked chakra, like a lot of people have a lot of blocked chakras these days, and it's because of like archons and the so like just from media, and then also just like I don't know, just living in that weird facade energy. But there's a lot of that energy kind of like looking at you now, and it's just the world has seemed to almost stop. And it's really weird because time feels like it's freezing up for these people because they're stuck, and it's like they have casted themselves in this mold. It's right, I'm telling you. Some people are, which it's like, I don't know. There's like a reset happening. I am feeling a big reset, but people are withdrawing from magic. Yeah, so people are like understanding not to mess with magic anymore. It's becoming not that it's a bad thing, but it's I feel like a lot of people are waking up to how much of a sacred art spell casting and being a magician, being a mage, a witch, a warlock, however, how like sacred that is and how important it is to know these things. We went through the time of being in Pisces where everyone could just throw this shit around all the time without getting any consequence. And now that we're in the year of Aquarius, it's like I don't really want to mess with this stuff anymore. It's time for the chosen, like it's time for the chosen ones to step up. I don't care about that weird projection. You know how I'm meaning that, okay? It's time for the ones that were destined to use their abilities not for the benefit of themselves, but for the benefit of everyone to step in the game. Like for fucking Pete's sakes, dude, we eat fake meat. Like all the meat we eat, like is pretty much fake. We eat more plastic than ever. It's all these like tiny bullshit things that everyone. I say bullshit because it's annoying to deal with. Like, why are we still eating fake food? Why are we still dealing with like worrying about what laws are like happening whenever literally we're poisoning ourselves every day type stuff? Like everyone's so worried about how they look and who they're gonna support, and like all these like fake like TV show things where it doesn't necessarily matter. Like, and I'm gonna talk about it because it's like a big thing, but like the whole laws, because it's also like something that I think about a lot. Being someone that is affected by some sort of laws, even if you aren't, it's still like so many people are like worried about, oh my god, like laws against like the LGBTQ community and like the laws against trans people. It's like I, as like I'm not even trying to like say anything mean, like do what you want to do, but like as someone who is like part of that community, I'm not affected by those laws. Those laws are not making me not be who I want to be. I'm not controlled by an outside force of someone else's opinion. They can make it illegal all they want, but that's not going to stop me from being me. The whole fear-based agenda that they try to spread doesn't necessarily work because it's an illusion. It's not saying you can't do that. It's just saying that there's a preference for it not to be there. Who cares? It's your personal private life. It's your human right actually to do what you want. It's not really up for a choice of matter. It's the right that God gave us of having free will to do as we please. So they can do what they want to do, but as long as you are with God and doing what you need to do, like you're fine. And a lot of people focus on things of that nature, and they like getting all this like attention and, oh, I'm supporting this group or I'm supporting that. Who gives a fuck? If you're spiritual, put that stuff to the side. You'd understand that that's just like a rodeo show for entertainment. It's like this fear mongering energy that is going to be disintegrating pretty soon. With like, have you even like, because even look at the media right now, it's going crazy. Like there's so much weird shit going on in the media. Everyone's like, it's like a clown show. It's getting more and more obvious, and it's good because the world's waking up. But at the same time, it's like you are so detached from that energy that you almost see how everyone sees you. You're looking at everyone else as this like crazy person, because it's like, why are you so worried about that whenever this like, I don't know, like they want to call you crazy because you're not worried about like the next like things of that nature, but yet you're still living a very bountiful, full life despite your conditions on the outside. You're still very full of love and light and joy, and you're still up. And then all these people have everything else. It's like they're down in the dumps, but they have everything that they need from the outside. And they're so like, the addictions of the world is not for you. And people are really seeing that like they've been living life wrong. And that's like the awakening that people need to get. And it's not, rephrase that because that can come off really bad. You're not living life, not saying that they're living life wrong, but they're not living life the way they wish to live it, which is wrong to them. They want to be happy. They wish to have success. They wish to have the same energy you need, that you have, but they do the things that drain that source of energy from them. So they are unable to obtain it. It's too far away from them because their vibration is low on their own behalf. And it's like, you make people see that, and it's even hard for me to talk about, and it's like for multiple reasons. For one, I don't like talking about, I mean, it doesn't matter, I like talking about stuff like this, but it's the backlash because of, well, one, my age. People like pointing out my age sometimes, and it's really weird. But it's like things like that about you as well, like your age, your color. It's like someone doesn't want to listen to you because, oh, you're old, or oh, you're young, or oh, you're this color, or you're that race, or oh, you're that sexuality. What do you know? And it's like, you know a lot, but people withdraw from you because you make them feel weird whenever you're just trying to. It's the whole ego thing, and it's really weird. And as being someone who's like younger and helping so many people, and that's not even like, like that's even a thing even talking about, because I always feel like it's like an ego thing to talk about it, but it's not. But it's like, it I like being able to do that because a lot of the older generations don't really have faith in the youth anymore, because I've, living with elderly parents, it's like it brings hope. It brings new energy. The younger generation has to fix some shit. You know what I mean? That's God's whole plan. Is everything's gone down so bad. So many kids have been born spiritual since like before the age of Pisces has ended, and so many of the youth has had their awakening before the year of Aquarius for this movement to start taking place. And to some it brings a lot of joy and like, thank God it's happening, like I didn't waste my like time doing this, I knew the divine had a grand plan all along. And for others it's like their ego has to get in the way. And that's kind of just what the energy's been picking up, is a lot of people just don't like you because you are the full divine truth. Even if they don't believe in God, they look at you and your story and all that you've gone through, and it's like, well, God has to be real, but why isn't God doing this for me? And that's where the convoluted energy starts, because they don't see that they're not allowing God to help them. And it's because it's the attachment of the word God to the Christian book, and God does not mean what the Christian book mean. God does not mean what the Bible or the Quran, or however. God is just a superhuman energy, a superhuman being, an eternal force. When you think God, you think of a lot of power, you think of infinite possibilities, you don't think of a person. And that's the whole like thing, is you understand that and you try to push that. And it's not that you're pushing it, you're just trying to bring that understanding back. And a lot of people aren't liking it. And for some it might be people gatekeeping knowledge. It might just be, I don't know. But it's like, it's like a war that you don't have to fight. But I'm on point with it. Like I'm telling you all that like spirit really wants to talk about, because it's one of those tough subjects that no one really, it's not that no one really wants to talk about it. It's just that when it's talked about, it's met with so much backlash, not even vocally, but energetically, that it's kind of annoying to talk about. So it gets pushed down in silence because there's so much withdrawal from even speaking about it like this. Because so many people want to live under that facade of blissfully living blissfully ignorant when whenever the truth comes out, they feel hurt because they chose to live in ignorance. And there's nothing wrong. And again, there's nothing wrong with it. Do what you want to do, but the truth has to come out. And truth hurts because the truth breaks boundaries. The truth is everlasting, and it's one of those things. But what else is going on, Spirit? I'm getting, you know how Spirit is with me. I'll ramble on for years talking about this. But you're a great teacher. And the divine really wants you to know that. Despite how you do it, despite if it's like a post a day on Facebook or however, you do what you have to do. There's a lot of people who get the easy way out. Yeah, it's like, I don't know, because these people, like, a lot of people who are spiritual, they still are into this drama energy. They like doing things like drama still entertains them, or talking bad about people, it still entertains them, or they're still involved in areas where drama is talked about, where people are talked about in a bad name, or they say they don't like doing this but they do it anyway for like entertainment purposes, because like, oh, if I do this then I know Shelly's gonna have someone to talk about, and I just love when Shelly goes on those rants about so and so. It's like, no, you have to really understand that that's the energy that's being, that you don't want to be around, which is why you feel so lackluster and drained, because you keep putting yourself next to people you actually don't like. And that's the hard thing to do, is to remove yourself from people and things that you don't like, because you've grown accustomed to them. And it's like, I feel it's fine, I can deal with it, but can you really deal with it? Because then it irritates you at some points. And that's the whole being alone and doing the dark night of the soul and learning about yourself, so that you can stop lying to yourself and stop living on this facade that you're okay with how things are, and be honest, brutally honest, and be like, I really just don't like them because they only do this, or so and so only hits me up for X, Y, and Z. And I know that's to be true because every time that they hit me up, it's always like this weird, stupid question, or like they want to do something, but it's never like, there's no equal give and take. And that's something that you really have to come to like deep grips with. Because a lot of the people that you met in this energy of not really being at your highest, and not feeling or seeing your full self-worth. And that's a scary thing to do. A lot of you have been alone for quite some time, and me included. It's like, it's because you're supposed to be a leader. And that's not to say leaders have to be alone, but leaders have to have that alone time to dig deep and to really understand who they are, what they stand for, and how to stand for it on their own before anyone comes towards them. You have to lose some people for your beliefs, for your standpoints. You can't be liked by everyone. There's always going to be someone or something that doesn't like you in this world. And that's a sad thing to say, but it's not because they hate you. It's just your light irritates those demons. And you're here to get rid of those demons. Whether you get rid of your own demons or not. And I was even thinking about this earlier today when I was in the shower. Like, a lot of people are attracted to tarot readings and spiritualists because of their demons, because their demons are wanting to escape. A lot, like, you don't have these entities. A moth wants to go to the light, you know? Always. It's like these entities want to leave. Some of these entities already know what's going on. Why do you think Asmodeus has been so prevalent and aware recently? Like, Asmodeus doesn't want to be here no more. Asmodeus is fucking tired of being here. I'm gonna just be honest with you all with that one. Because who's gonna be the big blame when all this shit blows over? The year of Aquarius, Asmodeus being behind all these love spells and shit. Even if like Asmodeus is the one of lust, who's the root cause of lust? Sadly, Asmodeus, partially Lilith, like because Lilith gave birth to Asmodeus and like a bunch of other demons. It goes back on them. They don't want that shit. They don't want to get punished anymore. They've been punished since the dawn of fucking time. They're tired of it. But people keep calling them up and doing shit with them, so they're the ones to blame. The vessel that summons them also gets the karma, but they're the entities that get blamed. They're the ones that are pissed off. It's the whole thing. It's the whole awakening, and people are just kind of like seeing that you are the one to really spike that up. So they don't hate you. They just hate that the facade's over. These entities are fed up. They're shriveling up. They're leaving. Like the magic, the black magic attacks aren't working. So people and celebrities aren't being protected by these fucking spells anymore. It's over. The end times aren't for the faithful. The end times are for those who lack the faith, who have these entities, who have these attachments on them. And that's what you've been trying to warn people about. And they're stuck. And it's sad to see because the people you really love and care about are stuck in these cycles, but that's how it is. When people like talk about how God has the list of people who are going to heaven and the rest are going to be bound to this earth, that's what they mean. Those that are able to free their mind are going to be free. Those that decide to stick with those programs, the drama, the entertainment, the addictions, the 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 archons, because they're the lowest form of entity on this realm, they stick with them, and then the archons do what they wish to them, because the archons can't take their anger out on God. They have to take them out on the vessel, the lesser version of God, the flesh and bone. That's like, and people might be realizing that now, which is why they're done with magic. That doesn't mean these cults and cults are gonna just and disappear, but it just means there's gonna be less hooligans out here trying to do things that they don't know much of. It's a slow cleanup. And I don't know, man. Some people, like, I don't know, they really like the idea. Like, you know, maybe they watch TV shows with like people throwing magic. They watch Charmed or one of those other witch shows. You know what I mean? Because I used to watch those with my mom all the time too. But it's like, it's all fun and games until you really realize there's rules and regulations to this shit. Anyone can do it for sure, and you can make up your own spells and whatnot, but the universe has laws because you're using the same energy that the universe gives you. Um, but anyway, what else is going on, Spirit? Because they have a lot to talk about, and they love busting my barriers down of not talking, because that's one of the reasons why I'm here, is to talk more and to use my voice, because I'm scared to, and this shit's really good at doing it, let me tell you. Jesus Christ. But you win and you get to move on to your blessings. You've proven yourself worthy of having blessings. You've proven yourself a warrior. You're successful. Like, there's talks about you. Everyone talks about you. Like, and it's weird because you always hear in the readings, oh, people are always watching you and talking about you, and it's not always a bad thing. And the jealousy isn't always a jealousy of like ill will. Sometimes the jealousy is just like a projection that they're not even meaning to send out, you know, because you're balanced. People don't like your temper. You're tempered is how you are, because the root chakra to a temper, like you're stable. In the midst of all this chaos that's going on, you're the one who's stable. You're the one who's really not, you know? And for some of you, I'm even hearing like someone's waiting on you to talk about the political debate so that they can look at you as they look at everyone else. And maybe you talk about the political shit, but you talk about it in a sense of none of this really matters. You guys are kind of like walking around like ants, and you need to stand up for yourself. It's like, I don't know. It's like when you talk about the politics and stuff, you're not talking about it to choose a side. You're talking about it to awaken people, to make people more aware of what's going on. So it's like they can't even talk shit about you because you're not choosing a side. You're staying in your lane. And people can't do that. People always want to be like, oh, I'm not voting for this person. I'm not voting for that person. Who gives a fuck about that person? Who cares? Who cares about what you're doing and what you're not doing? I understand it's an ego thing. You want to get that reaction. Deep down inside, you want to piss that person off. You want to piss someone on your page off. And you want to give them a reason to yell at you because you know Stacy doesn't like whenever you post political shit. So you do it anyway. And then you go, oh, but I'm just doing it because it's my page. If you don't like my page, get off of it type bullshit. That's your ego kicking in. Just if you know you're doing it and you know Stacy's gonna get there, don't even reply to Stacy when she comments it. And Stacy, stop looking at their posts. Type energy. Like, like it's like you're the mediator, you're the arbiter of all this shit. You're so in. You're like balanced. You just don't care. And it's like again, we're going to talk about politics and all that stuff because it's just in the energy. But this is the time where people are really showing if they're ready to leave this cycle or if they're gonna stay in it. And a lot of people who are spiritual are staying in this energy, and it's sad because there's spiritual leaders and people who want to, and there's nothing, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, but from a standpoint of energetic understanding, from a standpoint of life itself, and just how this universe works and the show that's being ran around us, focusing on everything bad that happens only makes your energy dirty. Focusing on, oh, I need to stand up for this group of people, you don't need to do anything other than take care of yourself. And you're allowing this frustration that you feel at the world for not understanding you and not understanding that love is all to dictate where your energy goes. And your energy is going towards a massive dark space. You're throwing your energy away. It's people's gifts are getting stronger for a reason. Your gifts are getting stronger for a reason. And it's not, and it's, it's, I don't know, well, it kind of is because of that, but it's because like you aren't focusing on what everyone else is focusing on. You're not focusing on the big succubus, succubi energy that's draining people of their hopes, of their dreams, of their love, of the sunshine and rainbows that's inside of you. You're focusing on yourself. You're focusing on the divine. You're focusing on things that are going to elevate you rather than things that are going to make you feel this insignificant energy of, oh, woe's me, I can't do anything about the world around me. You're focusing on what you can do, and that's why your gifts are getting stronger. There's a lot of spiritual leaders, and we've been talking about this for a while on this channel, about spiritual leaders who are going to lose their gifts and lose their credibility because of this next awakening. They're going to be losing stuff. Like the people are not going to be paying attention to them as much anymore. And it's not, and it's just to clear up the pool. Everyone's invited to the pool party, but when there's so many people at the pool party, it gets muddy. Then someone pees in the pool, and everyone has to get out of the pool because there's pee in it. Who peed in the pool type energy? You know what I mean? But those who are really ready to stand up, to stand in this high vibrational energy, and not allow the world around them to tear them down or to grab their attention and rip them from their path to get like a social gratification or even an egotistical gratification that they might not want to even admit. That's the shift that's going on. And the divine is blessing you because, I mean, you can even look back in the past. Maybe you were someone that was super focused on the world breaking down and it pissed you off, and that was good. That was the start of your awakening. That's the start of the awakening process. Not saying it's a bad thing at all. That's the start of it, is realizing that everything's breaking, and then, well, since everything's breaking, I can take my power and focus on me because fuck being in that party. When that shit goes down the toilet, I want to be over here. And it's like, that's just what you were doing. And it's just sad. It's just so sad because all these people are controlled by finances and money and like out external support and like external viewpoints. And here you are being by yourself, having these spiritual leaders, religious leaders, all these people watch you and stalk you just to replicate what you're doing, to say what you're saying, and to get gratification from people. God knows who's watching you, and you might even know who's watching you. You know what I mean? You might even know that there's certain people in a spiritual community or religious community who's watching you in your channel or what you post and then copying what you say. You know what I mean? You might have even had readings about that before. I'm not sure if I've ever given one like that, but maybe you've had like a reading from someone that said something like that, or you've seen a reading that said something along those lines. But God sees that. God knows who he puts that original energy into. And it's not them, it's you. And that's where all this weird energy comes from. Like you might even feel just weird energy sometimes one day, and it's just because someone really knows that you're it, and it's people all over that know that you're the one. People might joke with you about your spirituality in like a weird way, asking you about like karma laws and stuff like that and whatever, but it's one of those things where people like they know, and they can walk away from the truth as long as they want. That's on them. But the divine wants you to know that you're brave and you're strong and not to give up, because though it's hard to be someone to stand on your own too in the regards of that, and truly being the one person to step outside and not be ashamed of your gifts and not use them for personal gratification, but to use them for the betterment of everyone. God sees that. The divine sees that. Your ancestors, your angels see that. Your past over loved ones see that. That's why there's so much protection and force behind you in what you do, because that's what the world needs more of. And again, people are withdrawing from their magic because they're finding out that it's not worth it anymore. A false flame, and I'm not even talking about like a false twin flame, a false light. People are starting to figure out those leaders, quote unquote, that they were following just had an LED flashlight that they were shining to find the path, and not using the divine lantern that you're given, your soul. No one's using the soul anymore to lead. They're using the flashlight. And people are starting to see like, oh, like, well, why am I still over here if I'm supposed to be spiritual? Why am I still like, and it's like it's that weird projection that people want others to ignore you because they've built their whole life off of external viewpoints and people liking them and following them, and you don't give a fuck who likes you or who follows you. You're just being you, which is what gravitates people towards you. Whether it's fast or slow or however, people gravitate towards you. They like to know what's up. They watch you because they know you're tapped in. What's going on in the universe? What do I need to know? Because whatever you say is really going to spark that in me. Whether these are people who are on the spiritual path and they're like higher than you and they're watching you, or people who have more followers than you knowing that you're in time, it doesn't matter. People just know about you and they want to know what the fuck's going on. And they have to have you. Without you, they're not going to know what's going on. And it's not because you're you're, God or goddess energy. It's just because you are tapped in and you aren't shying away from your gifts. You're actually listening to your intuition. And it's not listening to your intuition 5% of the time or 15. You listen to your intuition. You try to at least 80% or more percent of the time is what I'm hearing. A solid 99 for a lot of you though, where you really trust your intuition because it's one of those things where it hasn't let you down. And you might even say it hasn't let me down yet. But that energy is like, it hasn't let me down, and you realize that and you know that, but it's still like a little bit of fear that you're working through, of course, because it takes courage to listen to your intuition. But I don't know, some people realize that they have a false sense of intuition and it's their ego that they follow, and it's weird. But regardless, people know that you're it. And these weird projections of people attacking you and like people saying XYZ about you, it's like everyone knows. Like deep down, everyone knows. There could even be people that never in their life talked the way that they talk now, and it's because you popped up in their life and you really showed these people like, hey, this is who I am. This is how the divine wants us to be. I know that I'm not perfect, but the divine said that I was perfect enough for the job. And even though you might struggle with following your words, you are at least trying to follow what your word says. And you understand when you're in the wrong and you don't make excuses. And it's just like, yeah, I shouldn't have said that, or I should have said that better. But my point is, and then you work on saying things better or having a better attitude towards certain things. It's like, there's, I don't know. Yeah, you're not cheesy. It's again cheesy in reverse. You're not, but you're not cheesy. The divine, like your version of love and light, your version. Not I say your version because everyone gives off love and light in different ways. It's the same love, it's the same light, but it comes off differently from different people. But you're not. It's not cheesy. And I don't even want to say it's luck either. It's just a divine, but luck came out. Some people might think you're lucky, but they know you're not lucky. It's the grace of the divine. Like, you're a miracle. And it's everyone's a miracle. But you know that you're the miracle. You know you are a miracle. You're a miracle worker. You do things in people's lives that no one else fucking could. That's how we all are. We all show each other different parts of ourselves that we would have never found out if someone else wasn't there. They're the miracle in your life, whether their actions towards you made you feel positive or negative. They were a miracle because without them, you would not be where you're at spiritually. Forget about the physical. We're talking about the spiritual. You learned a lot. You came from a lot. You went from self doubting everything you did and feeling worthless to knowing your worth. And you just might have that resentment of, wow, people really fucked me over and they didn't give a fuck. Well, no, they didn't because they knew that you deserved more. But they were pissed off because you were showing them that they deserved more and they knew that you needed that back and they were didn't want to give it to you because they wanted that emotion for themselves. However it is, the ego's a maniacal thing that humans have come up with over the years through brainwashing, through embarrassment and all sorts of shit. But these people who wear a mask, it's over. These people hide these illnesses that they have. Yeah, they want to they want to be fake. They want to hide the fake people they're ending. And it's not that they're dying or anything, God no, but their mask, their fakeness is over. They can't be fake. They're fake next to you and it really shows, but they're fake next to those people around them and it's fine. You know what I mean? These masks, these things that you hide about yourself, but you really do. It's hard to hide when you're around someone authentic. And people might be hiding illnesses that they have. I don't know. I don't know what is this about spirit? Can I get a third card for this? What is that supposed to mean? Oh, some people might not even know, like, I don't want to say it this way, but I'm gonna have to because there's no other way spirit's making me say it. But some people are realizing how, like, God, that's a hard way of saying it, but I don't want to say it that way. How mentally ill or discombobulated, I'll say, they are. Some people really realize how angry they are, or how sad they are, or like how crazy or egotistical they are, and they can't hide that anymore. Yeah. They're pissed off and they're shocked that you're showing these people things that they hid from. They've created this weird facade, and it's like they don't want to leave, and that's cool. They don't have to leave, but they're going to know that it's a facade that they live in. This could be family who are still asleep, who know, and everyone knows that they lost, and people know what your family did, and they know that your gifts. People know all these things, and they're trapped. They're trapped in these manifestations because God sees everything. This glamour spell that's over reality, that's not even caused by like other people, but by like the higher ups and companies and all sorts of shit. This glamour spell that's on Earth that a lot of people are very aware of by now. It's ending, and it's scary for these people. Because they need someone like you to comfort them while things are falling apart. and you're not there no more. Because they didn't want to take your hand and follow you and have your safety in that same emotion before. Maybe some of these people, you depended on them when your life was getting scary, and they left you hanging, and the divine scooped you up. And maybe, at first I'm even seeing like you were holding the divine's hand and you were looking back and you were sad, and now it's just this energy of like, damn, like they didn't come along, like that's their fault. And like that is their fault, but now they're looking for you, they're looking for this bright, beautiful, shining energy that you are, and it's not to be found. It's just a bunch of mirror work and shadows, and it's like flashlights shining in other objects and making them like reflectives and stuff. They're not seeing the authentic light anymore, and it's like they're lost in this shadow that they now have to navigate themselves. And it sucks. It really sucks, because I don't know. It's just knowing how this energy feels and knowing that no one should have to do this. But again, that's just discipline. The Saturn energy, it's discipline. It's the lessons of this world that people are learning. It's to bring things into balance. It's harmony. People are finding out you are all that is, all that will ever be. Even if they don't fully understand what that means, they know that there is a higher source. There is a God. There is the divine source that protects you, that exists, that has created us. And they don't like that idea. It scares them because they're not ready to admit it. They still want to feel like they rule the world or they're in charge of everything. That's your ego. Your ego is protecting you from the divine because you're scared of God. You're scared of your own creator. And that's the truth. You explored the depths. The only, like, yes, the force that leads us can be a very scary thing if you go against it. When you fear God, it's not that you're scared that God's going to hurt you or you're scared that God's not going to be there for you. You're scared because you know that that source exists and that there is a punishment for your actions. And it's not just a punishment that someone on the 3D world can give you. It's a punishment that's ruled by a higher dictator who is very fair and very even. You're afraid of getting that same energy back to you. That's the fear of God, is understanding that that negativity that you surround yourself in or put out is going to be the energy that you can only intake because that's what you keep asking for. It's an algorithm to this energetic matrix that we're in. The more you subscribe to the downfall of the world, the more it's going to affect you. And the more you focus on how bright things are getting, is the more bright things come to you. The more you focus on how to better yourself, is the better your outward world is going to be, despite how it looks. You are your master. You are the master of your world. God is inside of you. Not only, it's like as above, so below, as within, so without. That just means that yes, God is above and below. God is within you and everywhere that you look. This is God. Experiencing God, living inside of God to know how God works. Because God is simply just the universe at work. And the universe made God so God could become a religion, not to trap people in, but to lead them back to spirit, because we are all one spirit. We are all one being doing the same thing in different intervals at different speeds, to understand the same thing, to live the same life, to have the same goals, to have the same exuberant lifestyle, to have the same questions, but to get different answers and different. It's just a big experiment that God wants to do to better understand itself. And what better way to understand yourself is by splitting yourself up in every way possible. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, someone who's pissed off at you and doing death magic on you, yeah, that's God. That's God finding out what it is. What does it feel to be mad at someone enough to do that? How does it feel? What does it feel like? What is the experience of loving someone despite them doing that? What is the experience of doing this, of doing that? It's God's a child. It's a curiosity factor that we all have. Curiosity killed the cat. Satisfaction brought him back. And people know that about you. Instead of assuming everything's bad, you know that there's duality, there's a good side to everything, and this energy that you encompass, this energy that you embody. And thank you so much for the donation. I'm glad that I'm here to help you. I'm just here to help people learn and grow and evolve. Like that's all I really care about doing. It's why we're here, you know? Like why else would we be here? We're not here to suffer. We're not here to, just die and then come back and do nothing with our lives. We're here to really experience. And yeah, there's external factors like how people treat you and like what other people want to do that affect that, but at the end of the day, you can still make choices for yourself despite how anyone else says or does things. You're free. You're not within that matrix of being controlled by someone not liking you anymore or by not having people surround you. You're outside. Like it's like a big dome and you're just walking outside the dome and everyone inside the dome is scared that you're going to get hurt, or oh, they're outside the dome, they're going to get hurt and they're going to like get hit by a car or something, and you're just roaming outside. Like it's a bigger playing field. It's a whole world. It's all these things that people see and they're scared for you, when their fear is that they will never be able to get outside the dome. They will have their time, maybe this lifetime, maybe the next. It doesn't matter. Everyone has their appointed time. Everyone does. That is the whole goal. How long will it take? That's up for that person to decide. But we all have our own appointed time for when we come to this earth, when we leave, when we awaken, how long we're asleep, how long our karma is. It's all preordained, which is why it's the glorious part. You didn't do this to suffer. You did this to learn. But you have to be in control of your energy. And that's the whole learning process, is understanding that this is all energy. It's all around you. You're nothing and I'm nothing, but nothing is everything. And everything cannot be nothing, to the sense of how we perceive the word nothing. But yeah, there is an avoidance to like ending that type of thinking, because going into that type of stuff without knowing much about it can be very scary, of course, but it's something that's over. It's something that you've learned, which is that cycle, which is over, which is why you've elevated. You are more connected to the divine. You're closer to the divine than you know. And sometimes the divine really tests you and puts you through these trials to show you. And it's not to punish you, but it's to be like, hey, you can do this. There's some sort of clues and context, like reading in between the lines, seeing synchronicities, understanding these things, listening to the divine. I mean, the clairaudient people who can really hear the divine like talk to them, and their higher self talk to them. And it's like these little tidbits that the universe throws at you to let you know everything's okay, that you have to pay attention to and really write off of, because it's real. And it's just scary because we don't like feeling small. We are so small. We are super small. Like, you can watch those videos of all the planets and galaxies and you're like, yeah, we're small, but we're nothing, basically. We're ants. We're ants that like make fun of other ants, basically. You know what I mean? Yeah. But this anger, remember, this anger isn't towards you. This anger is at how they feel about themselves. If you do feel any type of projection about anyone being mad at you, they're not mad at you. They're just mad at themselves. You are shining a light on a spot of them that they didn't like. But it's time. The time is now for this to happen. People are going to see the split happen, and it's like, I don't know. A really funny, not funny, but a really interesting thing that I've been like not really seeing a lot of lately, but I've seen it so many times, is that the rapture happens every day. Because all the rapture is an enlightenment. It's the Christ consciousness. It's leaving this realm behind. It's the 3 days of death is the dark night of the soul. It was 3 dark nights when Jesus died, and then he was born again and brought to heaven. The dark night of the soul lasts forever. it felt like an eternity when the with the darkness up, you know what I mean? Like that, it's the whole thing. The rapture happens every damn day. The resurrection happens every day. It happens on an individual level so that it can then become like a bigger thing. But I don't know. It's very interesting. I would highly recommend looking into that if you haven't. It will definitely shift your perspective on this journey because a lot of people are waiting for a specific day or a date. That date's preordained in your Akashic records in the book of life, you know? The punishment of others is happening daily. The resurrection of people is happening daily. But you have to choose what you want. Do you want to punish yourself or do you want to come back? Do you want to stay in that darkness or do you want to leave? And it's a tough decision to make. It's not an easy one at all, but it's a choice that you have to make. And that's what God is doing. God's waiting on people to make that choice. And you're the example of that choice being made. The blind side of themselves is who you are. You are their blind side that they're not wanting to focus on to the things that they feel are right compared to what's ordained. Everyone has, you know what I mean? Like the only way to ruin a destiny is if you do it yourself. I mean, there's always external factors that happen, but those external factors can or cannot affect you. You have that choice no matter how deep or dark it gets. And that's the truth. Like I'm telling you, it's universal law that it all comes down to you. And people don't like that because you're a lot stronger than you look. You're a lot stronger than people know. And spirit is 100% with you. The spirit is moving you heavily. And there's just a lot of, it's like, I don't know. There's a lot of cycles that people are stuck in. And like they see that they're stuck in these cycles and they can't really walk in your footsteps. But you know how to help them. So they just kind of sit and watch. I'm telling you the truth right now with Michael. Like that's just the truth of the matter is you know how things work. You are in tune with the earth. Like you understand these things. Even if you don't fully understand them, you know like what the process is, what's going on. You don't have to like depend. Well, you know what I mean? Like you depend on the divine, but it's not in like a oh my god, if you need to do this for me, but it's like a hey, what can I do to receive what I need to receive? What do I need to say? What do I need to do? Like how can I move forward? And again, it's like there's just ugh. I just got the worst. It's just people people just don't like knowing that materialism is not the way. Because a lot of people like to compare or like I don't know. I don't. That's the weirdest projection. So I got the weird projection. Like someone thinks that you're not fun because of how spiritual you are. You're fun. You're very fun. You just you just don't like fake. You'd rather someone be real than fake. You have fun. You talk. You like. You laugh. It's not like you don't laugh or have like. You know what I mean? Like what the fuck? I don't know. Like someone thinks like, oh, all you do is meditate all day and you don't have any fun and you're such a buzzkill. You're actually very fun, but like you know, you because people try and hide their hurt. Don't try and hide your hurt around people, and it wouldn't be so awkward. Like you're not. Well, like what? You're ashamed of being guilty of doing stuff. You collective. You're guilty of a lot of shit. Let me be honest with you. I'm guilty of a lot of shit. We're all guilty, but we shouldn't punish ourselves. We're guilty because we say that we are, you know. We understand we make mistakes. That's okay. Who cares? We all make mistakes. That's like the whole point of being here. We're all guilty of doing something. Whether we do nothing or something, it's still we did it, you know. Guilty doesn't mean you're wrong. Guilty just means you were proven of doing something, you know, like the action of. You don't have to feel the energy of guilt. You just got to understand, yeah, I did that, but you know, I'm not doing that anymore and I'm better and I understood the lessons. I don't have to have this karmic debt because I like threw up on the bed 3 years ago or something like that, or I don't have to have this karmic debt because I called someone and said I didn't want to be their friend anymore. Like that's fine. Like that's not yours. It's just, it's just how the world is. And it's weird because some people can't grasp that idea, but it's like emotional immaturity. I mean, thank you, Spirit, for coming out like that with the Page of Cups reverse. People just don't really want to be mature. Like people feel like mature people aren't fun, but it's like what? I don't know. This is like I don't like digging into the mentality of these people because it's like it's weird, but like I don't know. It's an emotional immaturity though, and it's like yeah, enlighten your spirits and whatnot, but it's like just be honest with yourself. You're putting on a mask when collective isn't. And someone like, I don't know, just because you don't post about your issues all day long or you don't post about sad things, people think you don't have any emotion and that they can't come to you to talk about things. But they can. It's just, if they want advice, you'll give them advice. They don't want to take the advice, though, because the advice isn't really what they're wanting. Like, I don't know. It's like, I don't know how to explain it because they're not receiving what you're giving them the way that you're trying to give it to them, which isn't your fault. But just people look at you as almost like heartless with the Three of Swords reversed. It's weird. Because someone has some sort of like pain or upsetness, their first thought when they think of you is that you wouldn't understand and that you'll just like throw them away and be like, oh, you're mean because you're so spiritual that makes you mean. But that's just like their ego showing. You're very not mean. I don't know where that projection is coming from. I don't know who that energy is, but like they gotta, man, because like I like it's like someone could like it's okay, this is a prime example of what I'm talking about. Someone could have lost a child, right? And this could have been like a friend or something. I don't know, just example. I'm not really sure if this is an actual scenario, not an example, but someone could lose a child and they don't want to talk to you because they're afraid that you'll say that, oh, that was ordained to happen and everything happens for a reason and yada yada this, yada yada that. But that's like a heartless way of thinking in the sense of like you wouldn't tell someone that had their parent die like, oh yeah, your parents dead because they chose to die right then and there. You understand that, but you would not like you that's not something you would tell someone. You'd be like, I'm sorry for your loss, how can I help you, things of that nature. But people look at you as very cold-hearted and cold shoulder-ish, like Queen of Swords reversed. They think of you as almost like a bitch because of your spirituality, because you have a greater understanding of things, but that doesn't mean you're not going to be compassionate. It's so weird. It's so like I don't know why that projection has to come out, but that's weird. Some people like might think of you like that, which is why people don't really talk to you. It's like they don't want to hear that. But why would you push like you wouldn't put that on anyone? I don't know. I don't know what that was. That's weird. Maybe I don't. You might have some people looking at you like that. Yeah, well, shit. Yeah, it's death with the Three of Pentacles reverse. That's why not a lot of people want to come towards you. Your transformation scares people. Like who you are scares people. The fact that the divine works with you scares people. You're spiritual. That's scary. Type energy, which is fine. Like let them be scared of you. I guess. I don't know. But these old cycles are ending. These people they can't come towards you. They don't know how to come towards you. They're scared to come towards you because you reveal how lazy these people are. I don't want to say it like that, Spirit. God dang, that's rough. But you show how stuck people are with it. Not as Pentacles reverse, because I immediately look at laziness. I'm sorry, they're not lazy, but the lack of effort that they do is shown, and they feel like they're lazy. I'm sorry for that. That was an awful way of saying that. That's on me. That's on me. But the Nine of Swords reverse, it's like it gives them this hopeless energy of like I'm never going to amount to something because I see you shining and they counted you out first. So I mean that's like their karma because they counted you out. If they didn't call you nothing and think of you as less, then you wouldn't have these effects on them now that you're at your full stature or getting there. You know what I mean? That's the karma. That's karma for people. They don't like they don't like that though. They don't like that they're suffering the actions of their own consequences because like they didn't want to see, they knew who you were, but they wanted to be like, no, you'll never be that, and then you became it, so now they're just upset. I don't know, it's stupid, it's weird. Like they can keep that, it's not yours. But the hermit, people see you as a hermetist. People know you're a hermetist, whether you are like studying something or not. People know that you're a hermetist, which is why they stay the fuck away from you. And it's kind of funny because you can't control a hermit. You can't talk. You can't, like, a hermit will understand. Like, yeah, you're just like that. That's cool. We all have our own ways. We are all unique. I don't know. You don't try to. You actually don't try to outshine anyone. Like, it's really funny. You're you're not just an alien because you're a starseed. You're an alien because no, they've never met anyone like you. Oh, you actually don't care that no one's around you? No. Oh, you actually are like tapped in and tuned in? Yeah. Like, oh, so you're not like acting spiritual? No, I'm just, this is just who I am. Like, yeah, I got God on my side. Oh, you're a Christian? No, I didn't say that. I just said I got God on my side. Doesn't mean that I, does it, like why are you making that connection? You're you're putting words in my mouth, energy. They want to have that control, but they know they can't get it. These are people who are in spiritual poverty. With the Five of Pentacles reversed, these are people who are in like spiritual poverty. They don't have the faith that you have. They don't have much in the spirit. In the spirit, they can have all they want on the 3D, but you know, what is that going to be whenever you are in that grave? And I'm not trying to, you know, diss on anything. I'm just saying, like, this world is not meant to be lived like that. Yeah. All these cards keep coming out in reverse. People just like, they got such a weird, perverted way of thinking about you. It's so bizarre. People are you challenge people and they don't like it. They want to stay away from you. And it's like, good. Because these people don't really need to be around you. These are people that will ruin, like, not ruin, but they will make you feel less magical than you are. You know? They'll point out things that, you know what I mean? Like, I can't even, like, that stuttering noise, I can't even talk about it because it's like, well, if you're gonna point out that so and so is struggling and you're such a good person, then go help them. Like, oh yeah, I talk, you know, I like so and so, but they never have money. Then go help them. You know that they're out job searching. You know that they're doing this and that. Fucking help them, dummy. Like, don't be sitting back talking shit about someone when they're trying to do the best for themselves. At least you could do is toss them a few dollars and be like, there you go, I'm happy that you're doing something. Like, the fuck? Like, come on. Where's that happy-go-lucky, oh, I love everyone energy at now, huh? Like, let's keep it real. You're real like that. And people know that. People know that. The Tower. The Tower and the Magician both in reverse. Nah, these people cannot. It's just manipulation. These people try to avoid situations by manipulating, like, oh, well, I don't help so and so with their housing situation or with their finance situation because they just don't talk. Like, I just don't talk to them, and I know they're a good person, and I know that they're helping everyone, but I just don't really want to be around them, or I just don't want to. Like, you don't have to, but like, you're avoiding the purpose, the whole cause of you talking shit about someone for having lack when you have the supply that could help them, or you have ties with people who are like, you know what I mean? Like, this person's a manager at like a fast food chain or something, and they talk shit about you all the time because you don't have a job. Dumbass, you could literally hire them. You can offer them a job if you know that they're offering, and then they go, oh no, we're booked already, but yet you have a hiring sign outside, and it's like, you know what I mean? Like, they're just weird. It's weird. They want to seem better than you because you got God on your side. It's like, okay. Okay. Awkward. But okay. But the Wheel of Fortune upright and the Four of Pentacles reversed, like, you don't give a fuck. You've let go. The divine has you. You know that you are protected. And with the Wheel of Fortune, you're in this new cycle. It's weird. I don't know. That's a weird projection. I can't even get over that one. But the Wheel of Fortune being in the upright, the only card that's come up in the upright in the past like few cards, everything's working good for you. In the divine, you have good karma. The wheel's in your favor. There are there might be like a negative external, but it's positive. And it's just all these people who are out of alignment and stuck in these old cycles. You just feel them looking at you. And it's weird. It's like a little bunch of ants or bugs crawling around on you, and you're uncomfortable. It's just uncomfortable. Not you, but just the energy is uncomfortable. It's like a bunch of bugs like crawling around and moving and grooving and trying to like get in your space, and you're like stomping on them and getting rid of the bugs because they're just watching you like a bunch of eyes peering at you through a wall because they don't know what else to do. But regardless, you're free from this weird cycle, this realm of people, and it's like I don't know, it's so weird. Like people know that you're the one person that they could really trust, but they don't like that because they don't like that they can trust you. And they want to trust Samantha, who once they tell their issues to, goes and tells the whole town type energy. Like that's just how people are, honey. And they know who they talk to, isn't it? But the high priestess and the hermit, that's how people see you. People see you as the high priestess and the hermit. A very, very intelligent person who's tapped in. A very charitable person as well. You might even be into like metaphysical things. You might be very, very into just learning, and some people might call you a nerd or a geek or whatever, but like who gives a fuck about that? Like knowledge is power. Sorry, I don't want to be lost and weak. No offense, you know. But people see you that you're on your life path. And a lot of people want to know how to get on their life path. Well, it takes shadow work, which you put in. The devil in the tower, which is the one thing they don't want to hear. They're stuck to the old ways of living, and they're having a hard time maneuvering because they have so many shackles and chains bound to them. We're gonna shuffle 3 more times, Spirit. If anything else wants to come out of this. No. On the bottom, well, Judgment wanted to come out. Yeah. And these people know Hangman and Judgment. These people know that they can't come towards you. The judgment's already been made. You don't really want these people around you anyway. It's just like one of those things where they separate slowly. Maybe they poke their head back into your life, and thank you for the donation. I'm glad you're liking the vibe. Thank you, thank you. I try and keep it chill over here sometimes. Sometimes we get a little rambunctious, but we keep it chill most of the time. But people, like, they might poke their head in your life, or like, shoot you a like or a comment on a post, but you don't really care. Not God, that's awful. That's a projection. You don't really respond to them, or like if they comment on something, you're not like, oh my God, I can't wait to respond to their comment. There's like, you're you might even have like 1 or 2 people that you talk to, or maybe just one person. You might even have no one that you talk to. You just kind of talk to spirit, or like in the little like online communities with tarot and like all sorts of stuff. You might just do that as well. And I will say, if you are looking for a community of people to like talk to, I have a Google chat that you're more than free to join. You just have to email me and I'll add you to it. And that's just like a bunch of people. We all talk about things. We help each other out. It's just because being spiritual is hard to find people, and like those soul tribes are found through like YouTube and stuff. I thought it would be nice to just have like a Google chat to have people in. It's a good vibe. It allows you to really understand that there are, not that there are quote unquote nice people, because everyone knows that, but it's nice to really be in a group where others are interested in the same things that you are in, and they have information, they can help you grow and evolve, and it's beautiful. So if you are looking for like people to connect with, please like email me and ask to be in the Google group. I will add you to it. Because that's why I made it. And I made that back like months ago, back when I had my channel up. I think I had like maybe like 500, 600 ish subscribers when I first made it. maybe like 800, because I really wanted people to get in contact because I know how lonely this journey is. But again, like if you are wanting to do that, that's it. That's a good way to do it. I don't respond much. I mean, we're all busy. Obviously, we all have our own lives. Yeah, we could do Discord, but it's also like I don't know how that would go. I probably will switch to Discord here soon, honestly, because I do have one. I think that probably would be easier, but I just like Google Chat for like the older gen that doesn't know how Discord works and stuff of that nature. It's just kind of easier for them. But yeah, we might have to switch to Discord at some point because that'd be cool. But regardless, it's like yeah, I don't know. It's a weird, like, this split happens all the time within people, and you're the one that people didn't really want to see split off because you gave a lot of positivity to those that just kind of wanted to ride off of that wave until they needed that bump again. And now that you're gone, people kind of have to realize that if they want to be with you, with your authentic energy, they got to move away from those places that they're in. Because those places are not welcoming to you, and you are part of that energy. But we have unconditional love with the Divine Mother. Thank you, Divine Mother, for helping me to give and receive the love I desire. We have the miracle of forgiveness. Where did I put the... Oh, wow, I lost the box. Sorry, I lost the box. Of the miracle of forgiveness, Archangel Jeremiah. Thank you, Jeremiah, for helping me to understand the process of forgiveness. I think that right there is a prime example of something that people need to realize. Some people might think that you're so serious and spiritual. You're probably one of the goofiest people out alive. I say this all the time. I give off such like a... Because I notice this, especially when I like post and I don't show my face and it's just like words. People think I have the most serious and demanding demeanor. I'm lost. I am like goofy. I spend all day laughing basically. I am a goofball. It's awful. It's bad. But it's just because my inner child is happy. I and it's like it's small shit too. Not to even go off course, but still just like when your inner child is happy, you see it. A big reason why, like, I cover up my hair a lot now because it's usually wet because I take care of it like a lot. But I've always wanted to have long hair since I was a child, and now that like I even noticed it today, I noticed how long my hair was getting, and I was like, I'm actually happy because I wanted this long hair since I was in fifth grade, but I never had the courage to grow it out. And then here I am 4 years down the line without a haircut, and it's like it's small things like that that make you happy rather than having money and shit. You know what I mean? And I don't know, having an actually authentic, happy inner child changes so much for you. And from a personal perspective, I've spent days crying, almost like happy tears, of course, because I'm really doing what my inner child would have wanted me to do. It's the same shit. But connect with music. Thank you, angels, for inspiring me through music. The divine physician, Archangel Raphael. Thank you, Raphael, for shining your divine light upon my healthy body. Peace and harmony, Archangel Raguel. Thank you, Raguel, for surrounding my life in a harmonious light. Take a step back. Thank you, angels, for helping me to step back from what is not serving me. New beginnings. Thank you, angels, for opening up the doors to change. I am ready. And then count your blessings. Thank you, universe and angels, for the blessings in my life. So thank you, angels, for being here. And again, collective, thank you all for being here as well, for just growing, healing, evolving, and just sticking on this path. No one said it was going to be easy at all. It is not an easy path to take. It is a very beautiful one, though. Once you get over the whole dark night of the soul, once you get over that, things get smooth. But remember that healing is an up and down journey. You get to a point of healing where you need to get knocked back down to square one because you can't heal from things that, you know what I mean? You have to go backwards to go forward sometime on this journey. And it's annoying, sometimes it's irritating. but it releases those things that you wouldn't have grasped before if you didn't already hit this top high peak. You know what I mean? But I love you all so much. Again, if you want to be part of the Google chat, hit my email. I might make an announcement in the chat for a Discord server, and see who's interested in that as well. We can just have both of those things running simultaneously. I think that'd be cool. But regardless, thank you all so much. If you all would like a reading, or any of the other services that I have, any questions or anything, please hit my email. I'm getting better at responding to emails. I'm not used to getting a lot of messages, so I tend to shy away from responding to messages sometimes, but I do read all the emails. If I don't respond, I've either forgotten about it or I just don't know how to respond. So don't take it as me ignoring you on purpose. Sometimes I just don't know how to respond to people. We're all human, of course, you know, but I do read all the emails and I appreciate all of them. It really means the world. I love you all so much. I'm always here for you, and we're just here to get along and grow. But regardless of whatever, thank you all so much for the likes, comments, shares, subscribes, donations, everything. Thank you for being you and for not changing. I love you all so much, though. To the moon and back, to and forever. And